question. You're saying pro-choice
Not
is
really.
evil and murder.
Yes.
Pro-choice, how is pro-choice murder? Are you saying being pro-choice is murder?
I'm pretty sure you know what I'm
I
talking
think you'd
about.
be trying to
Specifically
refer. I
abortion.
think you're trying to refer to abortion.
That's what pro-choice supports. Am I correct?
Pro-choice supports it. Pro-choice isn't it. Pro-choice isn't
Yeah,
abortion.
but if you
Pro-choice
support
is.
it, abortion is murder according to my view.
So
So
if you
pro-choice supports murder. Yes, pro-choice is evil and murder. That's why I put two. Right. Okay. We left the game. Right. Right. Yo. Hello.
I'm no longer in the US, and I'm not sure how much I can say, but I can say this situation is fucked.
Okay. Bro, I need to change this thumbnail. Right. God, thank the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Uh,
Hey, hey. So, like, can you define murder for me?
are you pro-choice?
Yeah. So, can you
Oh,
define
okay, there you
murder?
go. I would say if you agree with these terms, just tell me. Murder is the unjust killing of a human being or killing an innocent human being.
Yeah. So, like, if if murder is the unjust killing of a human being, is there a
And
justified
what?
just
I
justified
said
killing
two.
exist?
Well, I said two. So the reason why I stated that this might as my definition, I want to see if you agree with the definition, right? So, like I said, I define murder as the unjust killing of a human being or the killing of an innocent human being. By science, by biology, it is human being from conception, ending that human being's life, the stage of development that will result in something called murder, which is illegal, right? So I'm
Yeah. So
asking like a justification for abortion, if you agree with the definition of murder here.
yeah, I think it's a justified killing because first of all, a fetus cannot be inside the womb unjustly. The fetus is unjustly inside the womb, taking the bodily autonomy of the mother, which is a fundamental right. And therefore, the
Well,
fetus is.
you're moving on a bit fast. I want to address the specific point first.
Yeah, your point is. Well, I'm just widening up the gap between of your like. I'm just saying it's a justified killing, so therefore it's not murder.
Yeah. Okay. So you agree with my definition of murder, though, right?
Yep.
So if you don't have a justification, you would agree that it's murder, correct?
Technically, but I just brought up the justification.
Good. So okay, I will get to that. Yeah. So your justification is bodily autonomy.
Yeah, it's bodily autonomy and self ownership.
All right. So, do you think bodily autonomy allows us to intentionally kill another human being, innocent human being, by the way, or does it like only allow us to refuse to provide help? Which one do
Yeah,
you
what
think?
is your definition? What is your definition of innocence? I need to get to that first.
My definition of innocence,
Yep.
it's pretty simple. I mean, so innocence, innocence basically means someone who's not guilty of a crime or deserving of being like intentionally killed. So an innocent person is someone who has like not done that would justify lethal force against them.
Yeah,
But yeah.
yeah. I'll just clarify because some people define innocence wrong. So, but anyways, I'm saying that's justified because you have the ownership, you got self ownership, and nobody can use your body as a mere vessel to sustain your own life. And right to life does not necessarily mean you can use it to infringe somebody else's fundamental right.
Okay, someone else's body. I want to ask you, how do you get pregnant?
Yeah, you get pregnant by doing the deed.
Right. Okay, wait, repeat that again.
Doing the deed.
All right, all right. All right, so
Yeah, so like, but even if you're doing the deed, action cannot lead to consent. Mere action cannot lead to such consent.
yeah, we're talking about consent right now. We're not talking. Yeah, we're talking about consent, right? Uh, so the problem with your argument, right? Consensual argument. Um, so pregnancy is not a sickness, right? It's not a random disease. It's not cancer, right? It happens through intimacy, right? Consent. So does consenting to this intimacy, right? Also mean accepting the possibility of creating a new human life?
No. What I'm trying to say here is that a mere action cannot lead to consent because a consent is an
Yes, it
enthusiastic
does.
agreement between two parties. You're consenting to doing the deed, but you're not consenting to the consequences after it. So therefore, it
What do
cannot
you
be
think that
consent.
deed does? What's the consequence of the deed that all humans know?
Yeah, no, not all humans, but first of all, it's
Really?
not all humans.
Really?
Not all humans know
Really? You really?
the consequences, and second of all, it could be essay, and third of all,
Yeah,
lastly,
we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about consent. SA is less than 1% of abortions. We're talking about the 99% of abortions, not SA.
yeah,
Right?
I know.
Right.
The
So why
fact
did you
the
bring
thing is,
that up?
action cannot lead to consent. Action is not consent when it comes to something such a big consequence.
Yes, it is because it's a natural result of intimacy, right? If something is a natural result of intimacy, if it's a natural result, obviously it's going to be consent. Doesn't make any sense. I agree that mere action doesn't automatically
Wait,
equal
isn't that a
consent.
fallacy? Isn't that a
No,
fallacy? Because
no. Can I continue? Can I continue?
yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. So I agree that mere action does not automatically equal consent, right? Doing something does not mean you consent to every possible outcome. My argument is not simply you had intimacy, therefore you consented to pregnancy. The argument is about responsibility, right? It's not just consent. Certain actions will create obligations even if we don't attend the consequences. For example, if I voluntarily do something that creates a dependent person, do you think they should have a responsibility towards that person because of the situation that I helped create?
Yeah, why am I odd to believe that like you just because your action you must face the obligation of your actions?
Yeah,
Why am I
that's what I'm asking you, right? That's why I just asked you. If I voluntarily do something that creates a dependent person, should I have that responsibility towards that person?
wait. I never consented to having the child. The child's inside the womb.
You never consented to having a child.
Yeah, of course.
So why did you have intimacy in the first place if you didn't want a child?
Well, maybe if, for example, you don't know, and second of all, you're consenting to doing the deed, but not consenting to the
I
fetus
know
being
that's
inside the
not
womb.
my argument. My argument is not about consent. My argument is consent plus responsibility, right? It's mainly responsibility and taking the consequences of your actions. It doesn't make any sense if I just told you this already. My argument is not you had intimacy, therefore keep the child. No, my argument is mainly about responsibility. I'm gonna ask you this again. If I voluntarily consent, right? I do something that creates a dependent person. The question I'm asking you is, do you think I should have the responsibility toward that person because of the situation I created?
Well, the situation you created, well, you created, but you didn't consent. That's the thing. You're just saying you create the thing, but the thing is, you never consented to the fetus being inside your womb.
Well, I disagree, but I will grant you that, right? Because that's not my main argument. You're ignoring my argument. I understand your point. You're causing a situation, not to say that that's consenting to it. I will concede to that, even though I disagree. But my argument is not based on consent. My argument is about, my argument is about responsibility. Responsibility is about obligations that can arise from our actions, right? For example, if someone chooses to drive a car, they don't consent to getting in an accident, right? But if their actions cause an accident, we still recognize they have responsibilities. They have to pay the fine. They have to pay that hospital bill. They have to do something to pay for that person they might have hurt, right? Because the situation that they created contributed to creating, right? So the question is, when an action creates a new human being who is innocent and dependent, does that create a responsibility toward that person who created the child?
Well, no, because first of all, relationships, it is a relationship requires a mutual. I mean, rather, a relationship requires the mother to willingly give up her bodily autonomy and willingly support the child. But since that
Yes,
is not
because
the
it's your
case,
responsibility.
it's no longer a it's no longer a mother and son relation. Rather, it's just a mere stranger to the mother because the relationship is.
Stranger? Did you just
Wait,
call her child a stranger?
no,
A
wait.
stranger?
It's a mother. Why should we call someone a mother when they don't even when they don't even support you? Why should we call
They
someone a
don't
mother?
have intimacy. They keep your legs shut. Not that hard. Keep your legs shut and open the Bible. How about that? So I understand
Wait,
your point. So you said, for one, you said it doesn't create responsibility. For two, you said the relationship requires the mother to give like nutrients and things like that. Am I correct?
yeah. So basically, in ethics and care, it we should say that a relationship has to be a consensual relationship. For example, if you have a child, if you're a child and you have a mother, and your mother doesn't even care about you, and your mother is not acting like a mother, then why should they consider you a mother?
I got a question. I think there's a problem with so let me get this straight. Your view is about consent. It's about the mother consenting to taking care of the child.
Yeah, well, that relationship can be broken by the mother.
Let me ask you this: if I have a child and he's 5 years old and I don't consent to taking care of him anymore, should I continue taking care of him? I don't consent to it.
Well, I don't find any more framework that says that you should take care of the child.
Right? Why? Because I have a responsibility to do that, right?
Wait, where does that responsibility come from?
What do you mean? No, I want you to answer my question, right? If I have a 5-year-old child and I decide to not consent to taking care of that child anymore, right? Should I continue taking care of that child or not? Because I don't consent. Your logic says no. I don't have to take care of that child because it's consent that matters, not responsibility.
Yeah, I don't see any more framework that says you don't have to you have to take care of the child. So no.
So if I have a 5-year-old child and I don't want to take care of him anymore, and because I don't consent to it, I can just kick him out the house, put him on the streets, and he's gone.
Well, I don't. Yeah. Well, which more frameworks does say that?
That's your framework. I'm using your logic. This is not my framework. This is your logic.
Wait.
This is your logic.
Is it bodily dependent on your body?
Yes.
No, it's not. It's what?
Yes. He's dependent on my need, on my money, my time, right? He's
That's
dependent.
not
He's
your body.
dependent on my money,
That's not
time.
body
Yes, it
autonomy.
is because my body can be mentally strained from that. So yes, it is my
Wait,
body.
your body is fundamental right. Your general
No, I'm
autonomy is
asking you a question. No, I'm asking you a question. If I consent, if I don't consent to a 5-year-old child anymore that I don't want to take care of because it's mentally draining me down, right? Should I be able to put him on the side of the street, or do I have responsibility to take care
Well,
of that child?
well, no, because it's not part of your body autonomy. Therefore, it's not doing anything bad to
So
you.
is my
Therefore,
mentality not part of my body?
huh?
Is my mentality part of my body? Like mentality,
Your
my
mentality?
mentality. Yes, my mental state is going down because I'm taking care of this 5-year-old child, right? And according to
Wait,
your
that's your
view, if
general
I do
autonomy,
not
not your.
consent, if I
That's
don't
part of
consent,
general autonomy, not body
no,
autonomy.
according to your view, if I don't consent, then I don't have to have responsibility for that child. So I'm asking you, if I'm mentally draining, I'm I'm mentally ill because I'm taking care of this 5-year-old child, right? Should I kick him out, put him on the side of the street, or still take responsibility and take care of that child?
Well, it is first of all not against your body autonomy. It's against
Yes, it
your
is.
general autonomy.
It is against my bodily autonomy.
Wait, define body autonomy. What is it?
Lord have mercy, I defined this already. I want you to
No,
answer
you
my
didn't.
question. No, I want you to answer my question because you're just dodging
I
the
already
question.
did. I said no.
No,
It's
you
because
didn't.
it's not part of your body autonomy.
It is part of my body autonomy. It's my mentality.
Yeah, I answered your question. Now
No, you
answer
didn't.
mine. What is body autonomy?
What? You did not answer my question.
I literally said no. Is that the answer you want?
So you think I shouldn't kick that child out the house?
Yeah, you shouldn't, because it's not part of your body autonomy.
Right. So why? Why should I kick him out? Well, okay. First off. So body autonomy. First off, would you agree that body autonomy is the idea that a person has a right to make decisions about their own body?
No, it's the right to govern your own body. Yeah.
Right. So would you agree that if I'm in a horrible mental state, that's my body, right?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not your body.
Really? Really? Really?
Yeah, you're mental.
Really? Get out of my circle. Okay, I want to ask y'all in the chat. Would you agree that my mental state is part of my body? Like, would you agree that my mental state is like my body? Or am I tripping?
Let's play the ball now.
I'm pretty sure my mental state would be part of my body.
Go stand right here. Are you gonna try to make it go down the stairs?
That doesn't make any sense.
The door right here?
No, because I just asked him what a body autonomy is. No, because he agreed that bodily autonomy is the idea that a person has the right to make their decisions about their own body, right? My mental state is connected to my body because your mind depends on your brain, right? Which is part of your physical body, your thoughts, your emotions, your consciousness, your mental experience. They're all related to brain activity, right? Like, oh my goodness.
Thank you for blocking that thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Conscious develops. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure your body is connected to bodily autonomy. Lord have mercy. Yo, what's up?
Well,
Yo, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing good.
Are you familiar with the term axiological nihilism?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, so it's just it's the state like there's nothing wrong. People just might disapprove of it.
So that's just subjective morality.
No, it's different.
Repeat it again.
So like something might not have value, or it doesn't objectively have value, but people might think it has value.
And you're applying this to a fetus?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm gonna ask you, is a fetus human from conception? I mean, scientifically it is. Would you agree?
Pardon, I didn't hear. My
Would,
bad.
would you agree that it's human from conception since that's like basic science?
As a human, yes, statistically, yes, it is.
Nice. So would you agree that humans deserve human rights to live?
Not necessarily.
So
I
you
mean,
don't
it's
think humans
unenforced.
deserve a right to live?
No, not really.
You know how sad that sounds, right?
Pardon?
You know how sad that sounds, right?
It isn't sad at all. Like, what do you mean?
You just told me that you don't think humans deserve to live.
No, I'm not saying that necessarily. I'm just
You
saying
just said that.
we don't
I
have
just
that rights
asked.
to exist.
I literally just asked you.
See, rights are human constructs, therefore, like, it's not applicable in
You just
modern
told me
world.
it doesn't. You just told me it doesn't deserve to live. That's what you just told me.
No,
Even
I
though
did not say that. I just said
yes,
we
it
do
is.
not need
That's what
rights.
you just
It's not
said.
necessary.
That's what you just said. But it's okay. So what quality does a human being need to have in order to deserve a right? I'm guessing it's consciousness. That's like all you guys
No,
come
just
up
that
with.
we don't need rights. Like, I didn't make that statement, so like the word is based on you
No, I'm
to
asking you. No, I'm
answer that
asking.
question.
No, I'm asking you a question, right? You said it's human preconception. You agreed. I asked you, do
Yeah,
you think
yeah,
humans deserve
yeah.
a right?
According to
You
science,
asked me.
that
You
doesn't
told me.
mean I
You
think
told
they
me.
have human rights.
Yeah, I understand that. That's what the
That's a
argument is
fallacy you're
going.
assuming I
No,
think
it's
this
not. That's
way.
where the
So,
argument is going, right? That's why I'm debating, right? So I'm asking you, since you agree that it's human for conception, right? Am I correct?
hmm
Right. And you said that it does not deserve human rights. So what I'm asking you is what quality does a human being need in order to deserve a life?
none. I'm not necessarily
Did you
saying
just
it
say
doesn't
none?
deserve a life. I'm just saying
You
like
just said it doesn't.
it doesn't
Okay, so
deserve
do you think,
life.
I'm gonna ask you again, do you think, since it's human for conception, do you think a fetus deserves a right to live since it's human?
No,
So what quality does a human being need to have in order to deserve a right to life?
none, because like
What?
I don't think nobody has the right to live. We just
So what quality does it
exist.
need to have the right to live?
See, that's a human invention.
Buddy,
Animals,
it's
when
not
they
that hard
decide
to
the right
answer.
to live.
It's not
Like,
that hard
do
to
you
answer.
eat meat?
It's not that hard to answer. It's really not that. I want you to answer my question, okay? I'm going to repeat my points again just so you can get it through your brain, all right? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So you agree that it is human from conception,
Yes.
and you don't. And do you agree that it deserves human rights, like the human right to life?
No.
All right. So what quality does a human being need to have in order to deserve a right to life?
None, because I don't believe in that.
Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. Okay, if it needs none, then that supports the pro-life position, right? Because if no special
No,
quality is
I'm saying
required,
like it
no,
doesn't
you
need
said none,
rights,
right? You
but
said
it can
none.
still exist. It's up to
You
you.
said none. You just said none. So if it needs none, that's pro-life position. Because if no special quality is needed for a human being to have a right to life, then being human is enough. What are you talking? I'm
No, I'm
confused.
saying people don't have rights. I'm assuming
People don't
it's
have rights.
non-existent.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah,
Audrey.
it's a human construct. Like,
Wait, whoa, 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 whoa,
you
whoa,
didn't
whoa,
have
whoa,
like
whoa.
people back in the day, they didn't have human rights. Did people care? No. So like it's the same thing.
What you're saying, people don't deserve human rights.
Yeah. What are you not tracking?
Yo. This is insane. What in the world are we talking? He just said people don't deserve. Okay, so you said people don't deserve human rights.
Yes.
Are like is this a serious argument?
Yeah, it is a serious argument.
All right, so I want you, I want you to clarify. But what do you mean by deserve? Like when you say deserve, do you mean humans can like lose their rights because of their actions, or do you mean humans don't have rights simply because they're human?
No, they just don't have rights at all. Because they invented the rights, like human rights. So it's like me saying, I could invent God and then say I'm God. That doesn't make sense.
So it's just like subjective.
No, no, no.
Yeah, yes, it is because you're saying
No,
human rights are
I'm
not
just
something
saying
humans possess
you might
naturally.
think this person has human rights, but they objectively don't.
Right. So if they don't objectively, then that means it's subjective.
No, no, no,
What's the opposite
no.
of objective?
Yeah, it's objective.
What's the? You just said it wasn't objective. What's the opposite of objective?
Yeah, yeah, subjective.
Right. So therefore, it's subjective, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Yeah,
Oh,
people
okay.
might think this has value.
So human rights are just preferences.
Yes.
Do you think Hitler was justified?
Not necessarily.
I thought it was human preference. Oh, dang, I got VC banned. Well, it's okay. It's okay. I got VC banned for saying that. It's okay. Well, I was going to say, like, was Hitler justified, right? He just said not necessarily. I was going to ask him by what grounds are you holding that to? You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to give her hope. Low tier never tried to debate. Oh, he called me a low tier. Oh, my goodness. That's crazy. Well, I got VC banned for real. This cow will be back. It's crazy. There's like a huge problem with his view, right? Because he said, I asked him, was Hitler justified? He said no. So if human rights are just invented by societies, then Nazi Germany has simply created a different system of values. Therefore, you can't say they're wrong or right because it's purely subjective preference. That's the problem with that view. But I'll be back in 6 minutes, y'all. I don't know what to do since I'm banned. Yes, Satan's trying to stop the truth. That is very ridiculous. Oh, that's crazy, Audrey. That's awesome. That's amazing. All right, chat. We got 2 minutes until we're back. 2 more minutes. Oh, 1 more minute. Yup, 1 more minute. We almost there. Done it. Join back. All right, finally we're back. Oh my goodness. Shoot. All right. Let's see if I can find my server again.
Liberty or death!
All right, we're back. Finally, yo.
Happy New
Yo,
Year.
how y'all doing?
I'm good. I am sorry. I didn't know what this was. I thought it was a murder mystery. That's why I picked murder.
Oh,
Um, but if we're talking about like humans having rights, then I would definitely pick pro-choice. Yeah, I'm gonna switch my role.
Okay, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Right. Right here. I'm right here. Okay, hi.
uh,
Hi.
wait, so are you pro-choice or pro-life?
Huh?
Or are you pro-choice or pro-life?
I'm pro-choice or pro-life?
Yeah, which
I'm an
one?
actual murder for some reason.
Gang, what?
I'm an actual murder.
You're an actual murderer.
Yeah.
Is this a troll, bro?
Can you
No.
ban him or no?
No, I'm not actually a murderer. I'm actually not a murderer. I'm actually not a murderer. I'm actually DJ to Christian. No, I mean pro-life. I'm pro-life. No, I'm pro-life. Okay, I'm pro-life. What is your favorite TV show, by the way? Nobody
My
has a
favorite TV show?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
You're not sure? Okay.
I like the Flash MCU.
MCU? Who's MCU?
MCU is a version.
What? What channel? What channel that airs on that?
Netflix.
Mine's Bubble Guppies for real.
Bubblegum. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Why?
I laughed. Yeah.
Hey, let's go! We got somebody in the back. Wait, what?
Bro, what? Hey, what's up?
Yo, Joseph, how you doing?
I'm chilling. Hey, what are you live streaming this on?
YouTube.
Okay.
What? Do I know him? That boy Bone. I think I know him.
Bone, you're not actually pro-life, man? Dang.
He's Muslim.
Oh, no, he's not actually Muslim. He's Christian.
Very mind.
Well,
Okay.
he likes the Lord. Likes the Lord.
Guys, I might change the topic.
Yeah.
I'm getting bored.
This game is dead. Bro, I'm tired of people saying Isaiah 53 is about Israel.
Oh, Isaiah 53. Yeah, I don't think that's about Israel.
Literally, Isaiah chapter 1, verse 4 says that Israel is a sinful nation, but Isaiah 53 says the servant is sinless. So, how does that work? It doesn't
Oh,
make no
right.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even Lamentations chapter 5, verse 7 says that they bear the sins of their forefathers. So, they still have sin that they don't have, atoned for. You know what I mean? So, you mainly see this like argument from like uh people like who Orthodox Muslim is.
I heard of him, but I don't think so. No.
Okay, yeah, he likes to use this argument, and then Muslims like to follow him on it.
Oh. So what he argues that Isaiah 53 is about Israel.
Yes, and he
Ay,
says it's
ay,
not
ay.
about. Yeah, he says it's not about the Messiah.
Interesting. Interesting.
You can. It's easy to debunk that. I mean, if you just go to Isaiah 1, Isaiah 49, you know, because literally also Isaiah 53 says that this servant dies for Israel. So how can Israel die for Israel? That makes zero sense. I don't know how they reconcile this.
Yo, someone commented, "Who is this bum? What is he talking about? What do you mean? Who is this bum? South Shore. What? Whoa.
I don't see the chat, so
I'm talking about in my live stream comments.
oh. I'm sorry for that.
They said, "Who is this bum?"
Yeah, they're jealous, bro. They're jealous. They don't have any content of their own. That's how it is.
You're deaf. Whoa. What? No. What is this even? Are you calling me a bum?
Tell them to define what a bum is. Watch them use Google.
Oh, okay, but yo, can you define what a bum is, bro?
That be bone.
Oh my goodness, where about to go, bro? I need more people.
Well, it's because no one is coming, Pepper. That's why we aren't saying anything.
Peppa Pig, you want to come up here? I see that you're pro-choice. What? What? Why
Okay.
not, bro? I'm itching for a debate. I'm itching. Uh, let's not do that. Oh, thank you, that boy, bro. Thank you.
I think if you try to draw like the Catholics and Orthodox coming in, I think they're gonna wait. Hold on. What topic did you have that one time when there was Catholics and Orthodox talking about water baptism with you?
I forgot about. I think I forgot. I'm not sure.
Because when you had that topic up, there was a lot of people. So I don't know. There's mainly Catholics and Orthodox on this game. So Bone, I'm trying to join this one server I used to be in because there was like these Unitarians that were in there.
Unitarians.
Yeah. And not only that, before what's it called? Those Unitarians, they also believe in universalism. They made their own version of universalism that they combine with full preterism, where they basically say that anyone that lives right now is saved. They don't say that people are going to go to hell as a purification place, of purification, but rather they're going to avoid hell completely and go straight to heaven. So they made their own version of universalism.
Oh, that's just bad. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Because the original form of universalism just posits that hell is like a place of purification, kind of like purgatory, but that's also unbiblical because Matthew 25 says that the unbelievers go to eternal punishment, not temporal, eternal. I'm sorry, not temporary. I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. So, yeah. Because if it was a place of purification, it would be temporary. So, but it's not temporary. It's everlasting. Yeah, how could someone be Unitarian, bro?
I don't know. I just don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
One time I was in a voice chat or voice call on Discord, and then they were literally straw manning Trinitarianism because they were asking. They read this book in Hebrews where like Jesus was given authority by the Father. Then they were asking, "Oh, how can God be given authority by God?" Like, bro, come on, bro. They already know what Trinitarianism teaches. They just like to strawman it for the fun of it. Wait, so God prayed to himself? What?
It's exactly.
Like, bro, yo, explain what?
Goth. Angels.
Yo.
Yo,
If you're saying God's real and the Bible says so, how are you going to explain how God's real without using the Bible?
God's will?
Real. Okay.
Oh, real.
I think you can use I think you can use the universe as evidence for God existing. In the same way you can use a building to identify the existence of a builder, right? I would say the universe itself is evidence of God.
That's just illogical because if someone doesn't
Bro,
believe in
hold on.
God, you're going to believe in other ways how the universe was created.
What's this? Is a house evidence of a house builder?
Yeah, but
Okay, thank you. So what's wrong with my reasoning?
because your reasoning is illogical if someone just doesn't believe in God. That hypothetical you just brought up
I'm
is
saying
just
that
not.
the universe is evidence of a creator, right? And I'm also saying that a house is evidence of a house builder. And how is that illogical? I'm using the same reasoning.
If the
Right.
same reasoning applies, I can just say, "Oh yeah, you know my God. Yeah, He created it. You're just wrong." And I'm an atheist, so that can't really work out, and I just don't believe it. That just makes no sense. You're gonna have to bring up other points from other people through history.
What are you talking about?
Without
Jesus
using the
being God?
Bible.
No, are you talking about Jesus being God or God in general? Because these are two different conversations.
I uh, just Jesus being God, I guess.
Right. So we don't use scientific evidence to prove someone is God. That's metaphysics.
All right, so you can't look back in history to someone that knows
Yes,
knows
we
who
can.
God
Yes.
is, and if you can't use the Bible in this argument, that's just completely
I
illogical.
already gave you an argument, bro. You didn't respond.
You just said something that
All you
doesn't
said
relate
was
to
that it's illogical. It's illogical. You didn't actually respond to it.
because that hypothetical is illogical. Obviously,
I
there's
gave
no
you, I
ground.
gave you an example where my reasoning would apply, and you said it's not illogical. But when I said that a universe is evidence of God, you said it's illogical.
Because I said that because your hypothetical didn't make sense to the point you were trying to give.
Gosh, bro.
You
Oh
said
my.
if the universe was created, there had to have been a God. And what if I just said, oh, wait, nah, that's my God? That's just illogical.
You said the universe itself is evidence of a creator.
The universe itself is evidence of someone not creating it. It's just
What?
Your logic is just so like illogical.
Okay,
I
buddy,
can't even get
buddy.
through it.
It
Bro,
depends on what you're arguing. If you're
yo,
arguing for God in general, then universe is evidence for a God. It's not saying the Christian God is
So what if I
evidence
just
for a
say,
God.
oh wait, your God's not real, Big Bang's real. Oh wait, yeah, you're just wrong.
Well,
That explains science.
well, the Big Bang doesn't create the universe. Well,
did this
that's
man
why
just
it's
say?
science.
I can't just explain that because we haven't explored deeper into the universe.
Did this man just say that
You're
the
just trying to
universe?
bring up God, which I don't believe in. So your point just sounds illogical from my point.
That's why there's
From your
evidence.
point,
That's why it's
everything else
evidence.
is gonna sound like logical from both of you.
Why is it illogical? You still haven't explained why it's
Because
illogical.
you're not using scientific manner. If you just
Yes,
go
we
through
are.
history,
You cannot
God just
use
doesn't
scientific
exist. If you're
proof
trying
for
to bring up
being
the
that operates
universe, you
outside of
can just say the
science.
Big Bang.
Holy crap. You cannot
I
use
want to jump.
scientific proof to prove whether a being who exists outside of science exists.
All right. Let's move on from that because both of us clearly ain't getting the picture. All right. If you can go in history and factual evidence, I can search it up through someone who actually met Jesus and his claims was backed up by his own logic and his mannerisms, then I'll just start believing. Just
No, I think you're confused. Jar, I think you're confused. Here's the problem, right? For one, we already have that. It's called the Gospels, right? For two, are you arguing for God or for Jesus being God? Like I said, these are two different conversations.
All right, explain both those conversations.
No, you didn't, because I think you're a bit confused here. What are you arguing for? Jesus being God or God in general?
God in general, yeah.
Right. So you can't use. So what we debate, right? We're debating. If you're talking about God in general, we use scientific evidence, right? Because if you don't believe in God in the first place, then historical evidence is not going to be exactly like convincing for you.
So this is just gonna keep going back and forth. He's not really.
No,
it's not. Evidence. It doesn't work.
You have to at least
scientific.
Hold on, before you even get to history and theology, you have to at least grant that theism is true. You can't just say, "Oh, prove Jesus was God" or "prove Jesus was real" if you don't even believe God, because Jesus preached that a God existed.
All right, so give me a site or just tell me where to search it up. I'll search it up, and if it backs up itself, I'll believe.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Look. You said, and I quote, bro. You said, and I quote, Jesus. I'm just no. It's just illogical coming from your point, bro. You're just saying.
Why is it illogical for the time? Why is it illogical?
Because it's not gonna make sense from my point of view. If it just goes from your point of view, it's going to make sense. Since I'm atheist and you're a Christian, you're just gonna keep bringing up the Bible. It's
because we're not bringing up the Bible.
You're bringing up different points from the Bible and the gospel.
No, it's not. It's not.
Just because it doesn't make sense to you does not mean it's illogical.
All right, so make it make sense then.
Bro,
Okay.
Give me the same example. If I see a house, is that evidence of a house builder? Yes or no?
Yes.
So if I see the universe, is that evidence of a creator?
All right. No. You
Oh
can just
my
say
god.
you can say any way. No. You can just say, oh yeah, that's the Big Bang. Oh yeah, if there's a house, there's a
Yeah, but the problem is scientifically, the problem, no. Jar, the problem with your view is that scientifically, based on pure science, the Big Bang did not create the universe because that would be an eternal regress unless you hold to the universe being eternal.
You just said the universe isn't eternal.
Well, scientifically, yeah. I hope you will hold to that.
So the universe isn't eternal.
Yes, yes, the universe is not eternal scientifically.
I
Would you agree?
mean, I guess, bro. I guess.
So you agree the
Okay, so
universe is
now
not
that
eternal?
makes you a deeper hole now. So if the universe is not eternal, what caused the universe?
The Big Bang.
The
That's
Big Bang does not
scientifically
even cause.
wrong.
Hold on, the Big Bang doesn't even say that it made the universe. It says that the universe expanded through the Big Bang. It doesn't say that the universe was made through the Big Bang.
Our universe, as we know it, was created by the Big Bang.
No,
That's
the Big
scientifically
Bang
wrong.
theory does not even say that it creates that it created the universe. It says that it expanded the universe. Switch it up.
All right.
It's simple. It's simple science. The Big Bang never created the universe
Right.
because, like, space, like what caused the Big Bang, for example, right? Because if space, oh my goodness, time, space, and matter, it began with the Big Bang, like or if space, time, and matter began with the Big Bang, like what kind of cause could exist before or outside of those things?
Yeah, it says, and I quote, the universe was created by one massive explosion as the Big Bang, blah, 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 blah.
Read it. Wait, hold on. Go to the sources that AI. Hold on, wait. Go to the sources that AI pulled from.
What? Repeat that, please.
To the sources that AI pulled from. It pulls from sources. Go to the sources that it pulled from.
I bet.
You can search up anything and then it can come up as true. You can say, oh, who started the Roman Catholic Church? Jesus did. So just go to the sources.
Google AI told me the Earth was flat once.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, according to the general consensus, the Earth is flat.
Oh, bye, Audrey. Have a nice day. God bless.
Hey, host, I gotta go eat real quick. I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna mute up.
All right. You got the source yet, bro?
Yeah, I put from the source. It says science.nasa.gov.
The who?
Science.nasa.gov.
And you're telling me
And
that
then
says
a
the Big
bunch of
Bang?
other sources are just YouTube videos, and I don't feel like watching all that.
Yeah, so I think you're a bit confused here because NASA is a good source, right, for information about like astronomy, the Big Bang, and the Big Bang model. But we need to be careful about like what it actually says, right? So the Big Bang theory, can you explain that to me?
You want me to just read off the site?
No, it doesn't matter to me. Explain the Big Bang.
It said explain. I bet. It says a point from singular. Actually, I'm gonna just say it myself. A point from singularity at the start of the universe expanded and made our universe as we know it. 13.8 million years ago, I believe. Yeah, I'm right. 13.8.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So once again, I agree that the Big Bang describes the universe right from an extremely hot dense state. That's all I'm saying. Yes, I agree with that. So, but notice here's the problem, right? Here's what you just said. It says apart from singularity. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Right. It says apart from our singularity. Right. So it doesn't answer the question, right? Because still, where did that singularity come from, and what explains the existence of that initial state?
It says it right here. Hot dense state of matter heated up. I'm on the site right now. It says it right here.
The singularity, right? The singularity came from what?
It was originally a hot dense state of matter. Hot dense state of matter.
Yeah, I understand that's the big. I'm asking where did the singularity come from?
We have no clue. Like anyone has no clue.
That's where that's where the evidence comes in, right? Okay, so the Big Bang models, right? It describes, or it's not described. It explains the development of the universe from its earliest known condition, right? It explains the expansion and the formation of galaxies and stars and planets and so on, right? So it does not answer why is there a universe, right? So if a singularity is the beginning of space, time, matter, and energy, then the cause of that beginning cannot simply be another physical thing that is inside of space and time because those things didn't exist yet, right? So the argument is not the Big Bang is false. I agree with the Big Bang. The argument is the Big Bang explains the universe early expansion, but what explains the Big Bang or the existence of the universe itself?
Yo, bro. You alive? Ooh, shit. He dead. Ooh, I got dip. No, I'm finna get BC banned. I actually have to go.
Oh, dang. He didn't answer my question. Come on, man. Don't do that to me. Don't leave me hanging. I'm trying to convert people to Christianity, bro. W Dodge. I gotta go. Are you sure about that? All right.
Yo, what's up?
Yo.
Yo, what's your argument for the existence of God?
The universe.
What?
The universe.
What do you mean? What do you mean the universe?
So the universe has a beginning. Beginning needs a cause, just like you see a building on the side of the street. It needs a cause, right? That cause should be outside of time, space, and matter, unless you hold to infinite regress. It's the most simplest argument.
So why do you not think that infinite regress can occur?
So do you hold to an eternal universe?
Do I hold to an eternal universe? I believe that infinite regress is plausible. Yeah, I don't really find a problem with it.
Well, I'm asking, do you hold to it?
Let's just say, like, I don't really have a set belief on it, but I think that infinite regress is definitely plausible. I don't think it's like completely absurd. So why would you object against infinite regress?
Okay, so the reason why I believe this should be outside of time, space, and matter, otherwise known as a God, than infinite regress, is because so the issue is whether an infinite chain of like dependent explanations can actually explain anything in the first place, right? So for example, imagine like a chain of people passing a borrowed book, right? Person A has the book because person B gave it to him. Person B has it because C gave it to him, and C has because you get the point, right? So D gave it to him, and so on forever, right? So if nobody actually owns the book or originally possesses it, right, then the chain never explains where the book ultimately came from. So the argument is that contingent things, right, that could fail to exist need an explanation outside of themselves.
So you're like coming from a temporal causation like type of stance. So like if like for example a domino chain, like if you put the first domino down, the rest of the dominoes fall. But like you're not like necessarily borrowing the causal power from the last event, because like you can like, so if your friend gives you the book, okay, your friend can like die, but you still have the book, right? So like what I'm trying to say is like causal power in this kind of chain isn't borrowed. So can't you say that like if it's not borrowed, then it doesn't really need a starting point? Like it can still infinitely regress. So even though like the example that you gave is like coherent in like our type of like perspective, like as a human, like if we look at it from like an actual standpoint, like in a temporal causation chain, the causal power isn't like borrowed from one another. So like can't you have like an infinite regress since it's not borrowed?
No. So for the domino thing, for the domino analogy, it shows the difference between the chain of events, right, and the explanation for the existence of the chain. If I see a domino falling, I can explain the domino falling because another pushed it. But if every domino only falls because another domino pushed before it, then the infinite chain doesn't explain why there's a domino chain in the motion at all. So, right, and then your book example, right, of the friend's death and things like that, that assumes the friend is an independent source of the book, right, based on your view and for the previous view. He can't be, right? The friend doesn't need to have
He's
an
not an
existence
independent
forever.
source of the book. What do you mean?
Exactly. That's exactly, right?
I
So
don't
he
get what
could,
you mean by that though.
you're assuming, your example, you said he dies. You're assuming the friend is an independent source of the book.
What do you mean by he's an independent source? I mean, the guy has the book. That's all you need. Like, are you talking about like you're assuming that he bought the book or something? I don't know what you're trying to get at.
You said he died.
Okay, so let me give another example rather than the book. Okay, if the book
Oh,
is a bit too like,
really? Oh, I want to
what do you
continue my
mean?
point. I want to continue my point.
I'm just going to use it in a different example, so there's no frustration. Like there's no like mix-up. Do you want to keep using the same book example? Because I don't mind. I'm just trying to make this debate a bit easier.
Right, but you said okay. So you told me.
You want to continue with the book, or do you want me to give you another example?
Yeah, I'm continuing with the book because you told me he died. Am I correct?
Continue with the book.
You told me he died.
I said if he dies, you would still possess the book.
Repeat that again.
If he dies, you still possess the book. What I'm trying to get at is that causal power isn't borrowed in a temporal chain.
Cause of what? Oh.
Like causal power isn't borrowed in a temporal chain.
Okay, interesting. Simple. No, because you're mixing two ideas here. Because if your friend gives you a book and then dies, you still have the book because the book was already transferred to you. Because your possession doesn't depend on your book.
So you prove
No, I'm not. Because your possession doesn't depend on your friend continuing to exist. But in the domino example, right? The question is different. It's not whether the previous domino still exists, like after pushing the next one. The question is whether the chain where every domino has its motion from another domino can explain why the first movement exists at all, right? So for the cosmological argument, the issue is not does every cause need to keep existing, right? The issue is whether everything that is dependent can ultimately be explained by an endless chain of other dependent things. Like if every link is barring its existence or causal power from another link. If every link, really. Oh, it's okay. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that after. When you say dependent,
no, I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna finish this and then I'll explain that because interesting. So if every link is barring from its existence or not casual, causal power from another link, then the question still remains. It doesn't apply to here. Where does the
it's not borrowed. It's not borrowed.
If every link is barring its existence.
Your mic keeps cutting out. What did you say?
You told me it's not borrowed. I said if every link.
Why are you side on me?
My mic is not cut off. So if every link is barring its existence. If every link is barring its existence or causal power from another link, then the question still remains: where does the entire chain get that existence or causal power?
Right, so I'm going to say this again. A temporal chain doesn't necessarily mean you're borrowing causal power. You're mixing two things, bro. You're mixing a hierarchical chain and a temporal chain. Like, for example, in a hierarchical chain, I'll give you an example of a hierarchical chain. So I hold up a glass of water, okay? What is holding up the glass of water? My arm is holding up the glass of water. What's holding up my arm? I'm holding up my arm. What's holding up me? The chair's holding me up. What's holding up the chair? The floor. What's holding up the floor? The earth. Right? So you see how if any of these things are removed, the whole chain collapses. Okay, and that's because the causal power is borrowed from one event to another.
That's not what I'm saying. Right? No, I'm gonna drop the word borrow because I think you're confused. When I say borrowed power, I don't mean like a battery. The point is about dependence, right? Like if something is dependent, it means it doesn't contain an explanation for its own existence or activity within itself. It relies on something else. For example, like I said, a domino falling depends on another domino pushing it. If the previous domino no longer exists after the push in the current domino's motion, still came from something else, right?
Okay, you know what? Fine. I'll concede your principle of sufficient reason, right? Okay. Just for a few minutes, right? but like if you say like you know, like the principle of sufficient reason you keep talking about, right? If P is a sufficient reason for Q, wouldn't P then entail Q? Like, do you know what I mean?
Repeat that again.
So you're on about like the principle of sufficient reason, right?
Right.
So
Yes.
I'll say, okay, then if everything exists, if everything begins, it needs a cause, right? And this chain
No, not everything.
This chain goes back to a first. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, this chain goes back to a first uncaused causa, right? Is that what you're trying to get at?
No, it's not everything. Everything physical.
Okay. Everything physical that begins to exist needs a cause. Okay.
Okay.
So would you say that therefore this first cause is necessary?
Repeat that again.
Would you say this first cause is necessary?
The first cause is necessary, you said.
Yeah, would you say it's necessary?
I would say yes. Yeah, it would be necessary, yes.
Okay, so if it's necessary, right? Okay, so if it's necessary, right? Let's take the principle of sufficient reason, right? Would you be fine saying that, like, if P sufficiently explains Q, right? So say event, we'll name one event P and we'll name one event Q. If P sufficiently explains Q, then P entails Q.
P entails Q. This service. No, I would not define it that way because that would.
This guy's turn off his mic, bro. That's way too much, bro.
Well,
no.
Well, he's talking about.
Go on, sir.
So no, I wouldn't define it that way. That's bad. That's bad. So because that would make sufficient explanation the same thing as it's like a logical entailment, but that's not how PSR normally works. Because in logic, if P entails Q, then P being true guarantees Q is true. But a sufficient reason is an explanation in a grounding relation. It tells us why Q is the case, not necessarily that Q logically contains P. So for example, right, if the sufficient reason for a painting existing is an artist, right, or doing right, then the existence of the painting does not logically entail one specific artist. The painting is explained by an artist, but it does not prove every detail about the artist through like deduction alone. So PSR is saying, right, that things that exist or are true have an like adequate explanation, not that the thing explained logically entails the explanation.
Okay, wait. Repeat the analogy again.
What did I say? I said the sufficient reason for a painting existing is an artist, right? But the existence of the painting does not logically entail one specific artist. The painting is explained by an artist, right? But it does not prove every detail about the artist through deduction alone.
Okay, so if this painting exists, you're saying that to sufficiently explain it, it needs an artist. But for the artist to exist, that doesn't necessarily mean the artist should paint the painting. Is that what you're saying?
Whoa. Repeat that last point.
So basically, I might be misunderstanding what you're saying. So you're saying that the painting existing requires, like, for it to be logically explained, okay, it needs to have a painter, right? But for this painter to exist, it doesn't necessarily entail that he painted this painting. Is that what you're saying?
It doesn't entail he painted the painting.
Yeah.
I think I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm black, bro. Yeah, I'm black. Oh, anyway. So yeah, exactly, right. So yeah, it shows the distinction I'm making. Like the painted existing requires an explanation. The artist is sufficient explanation for the painting, but the painting does not logically tell every fact about the artist. But yeah.
I mean, so do you take, like, you know, like the potency argument, like God has no potency and God is like pure actualizer? Have you heard
what
that
argument before?
Like the idea that like God has no potency and he's like the first actualizer. Yeah, he's pure act.
When you say potency, you mean he doesn't have the potential to change, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pure act.
Okay. Well, wouldn't that like kind of just like go against divine simplicity anyway? Divine simplicity anyways,
No.
because
You can hold.
if
You
God
can hold.
has wait, chill, bro. If God has free will, then therefore he has potency. Divine simplicity means that, God has no potency, therefore divine simplicity doesn't follow.
If God has free will, he has potency.
If God has free will, he has potency. If you have free will, you have the potential to change.
How does that? How does that follow?
Well,
Okay, so if I decide to let's say I'm building a Lego house, right? And my free will is I want to build a Lego house. I go from a state of not building the Lego house to there building a Lego house. So this is a change in me. This is a change in my
I got a
person.
question.
Okay, and this
I got a
caused by my
question.
free will.
What do you mean by potentiality? Like in classical theism, right? God has no passive potentiality, right? Meaning God does not lack anything or need to become something that he is not, right? It doesn't mean God has no power or no ability. Like what do you mean by potentiality?
So essentially what I'm getting at is God has free will, right? God has free will. You can say that God has free will. Okay?
He's asking what potentiality is. What are you
Yeah,
defining?
I'm asking you that define that.
Yeah, potential is the potential to change. Potency,
Also,
the potential to change.
what do you define free will as?
Free will, the ability to, I don't really, like. I would say like the ability to make your own choices, free of like, what do you call it? Like,
It's gonna be like
essentially
the
just free to make your own choices, I guess. If you
yeah.
want a simple
It's gonna be like libertarian free will. I would hold to compatibilist free will. I would say you have the ability to act according to your nature, like God, for example. Since he
You have the
possesses
ability to act according to your nature.
yeah,
All right, okay, go on.
yeah. Since God, for example, possesses the divine nature, he would only have the ability to do things that are logically plausible and not contradictory, right? And he would only have the ability to do something that's holy, right? He wouldn't be able to sin. So, and also, I want to address what you said before. This actually addresses what you said before. You're saying
Never
that
heard this definition before.
because you're saying that because God has free will, right? That he, can change. He can go from one state of affairs to another state of affairs. I don't think that follows because God in this case, he would possess the divine nature, which is not the same as human nature, which does change, right? Because God is immutable. And so if God
Okay,
is immutable,
so yeah. So since God is extemporal, like he doesn't have the same type of free will we do. His free will is not like temporalism.
Again, free will is the ability to act according to your nature. And according to God's nature, the divine nature, he cannot change.
Dude, I've never ever heard this definition of free will before, bro. Like,
Here's actuality.
hold up. Okay, what's it called? What's that type of definition called?
Compatibilism in the chat. What you're defining is libertarian free will. I hold to compatibilism.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So basically God freely chooses like according to his nature, right? Like but his nature does not change, right? So freedom, it doesn't require like being able to become anything else. It requires like acting according to one's own will, rather than being forced. But like for example, a perfectly good person, right, does not become less free because they can't choose evil, right? Their inability to choose evil can be understood as a result of perfection, not a lack of freedom. So are you assuming what can you like stop doing that? So are you assuming that free will requires the ability to change?
I mean, I would assume so because like so when I'm saying like
No, sorry, go ahead.
no. Anyway, so if I have the potential to make my own decision, right? I have the potential to like hold up this controller that's right in front of me. I have the potential to do that because I can do that with my free will. Not that I necessarily will do it, but I have the potential to do it.
Because how do you define free will, right? The problem is you define free will in a way that contradicts your own state. Because if free will means, by definition, being able to choose between options, right? Is that like something nearly you said?
Being able to, okay, yeah, I
Choose
guess.
between options, right? Exactly. Then God can have free will without changing his nature.
No, but the problem isn't him changing his nature. The problem is him having the potential to change it. He has the potential to do it, not if he does or doesn't.
I don't
My
believe
point
that.
isn't that. My point isn't that he does or doesn't. My point is that he has the potential to. He has the
He has the
potential to. So he has the
potential
potential
to change his nature.
create.
We don't
Does he
believe
have the
that.
potential to make the universe in a different way?
Well, classical theism completely rejects that because changing nature would mean God is like not immutable or like or perfect, right? So that doesn't no, that's we reject that he changes his that he has the potential to change his nature.
So so you don't. So you believe that God couldn't have created the world in any other way? Is that what you're saying?
Wait, repeat that again.
So
So I asked you,
I asked you, does God have the potential to construct the world in a different way than the Big Bang, for example?
Does he have the ability to
when
control
did you
the?
ask me that?
I asked you that, and you said
And you
no
said
because
no
that's his
because that's his
nature. I was
nature.
like,
I was like,
what?
what?
But
What?
listen,
But listen, I said that.
can yeah, it's fine. It might have been just a misunderstanding, but can God create the world in a different way?
Can he create the
Does he
world?
have the potential to?
I feel like that would imply in what's it called? I feel like that would apply that like God when he created the universe, like made a mistake. So I would say probably no in that sense.
Say that again. I didn't hear you properly.
I feel like if we say that God could create the universe in a different well actually no he actually is going to in the future because there's going to be a new creation so
Well, yeah. So, like, I would argue he could create different worlds, right, or different actions, but those choices would not come from God changing his nature, right? His freedom is not based on becoming something
So
different.
so you believe in an indeterministic world then? So it's not based upon God's will. It's based upon
Yes, it is because
probability.
no, because I just said God can create different worlds or different actions, but those choices do not come from God changing his nature, right? His God's nature determines what kind of being he is. It's not every action he performs, right? For example, because God is perfectly good, he cannot choose evil. But that does not mean he lacks freedom. It means his will is perfectly aligned with goodness.
yeah he's basically just saying that God is bound by his own nature he's bound by his own and yeah obviously
I mean,
believe
the whole. I mean, it just seems kind of like a bit circular, bro. Like you're saying that. Hold on, let me get this straight, right? You're saying that God cannot create the world in any different way.
I just said he can.
If any, wait, my bad. If God creates the world in any different way, it's not necessarily due to him changing his nature. It's just adhering to his own nature. Is that what you're saying?
I would say so yeah because God actually foreordained that the universe would be restored in the future actually so yeah I would
Okay,
say
so you're saying that even if God created the world in any different way, that doesn't mean that he freely willed it to happen like that.
yeah I would say wait what
Because that's kind of what you guys are saying. You're saying like if God creates the world in any different way, right? That's not his will. That's his nature. That's what I'm getting at. I might be wrong here.
What?
He's saying that's not a change in his nature. That's what he's saying.
That's not a change in his nature. Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah.
not a change in his nature.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and you guys take the what do you call it? Compatibilistic definition of free will.
Yes.
All right, so we just fundamentally disagree on that then. I guess there's not really anything we can do about that.
Yeah, no problem, bro. And I would
That's
just
fine.
say whatever God like eternally wills would have a temporal effect, right? So like if God, like you said, if God chooses to create the universe, a different universe, that would just be a part of his eternal will. So that wouldn't be a change in him. Because everything God does, he always eternally wills it to happen.
So I don't get this part though. Wait, I actually don't understand this part, right? So you're saying that if God created the world differently, right? Did you say that's not a matter of his own will? Is that what you said?
No, I said if God chose to create I guess like let's say another universe. I wouldn't say a different universe, but if he created another.
By the way, my bad if I don't understand this straight away. It's my first time hearing something like this. My bad.
No, you're good, bro. So if like God chose to create another universe tomorrow, that would just be a part of his eternal will, because God eternally wills for things to happen, but his will has temporal effects, right? It's like when God chose to create the universe, that was part of his eternal will, but it had a temporal effect at a certain, like,
Oh, okay. Okay, I think I understand. I think I
yeah,
understand what you're getting at. So God's free will isn't traditional free will in the sense of like my definition. It's almost like because God is eternal and extemporal, his free will doesn't operate in the same way that ours does. So
uh,
his
well, no,
his
free,
fr-
free will
his
just,
free will is more so absolute. So like his free will is like okay, I think I get what you're saying. So like his free will, because he's an eternal being and he doesn't operate, temporally, his
yeah.
free will is like this, so like X, and then this is intrinsic in his nature, right? So I think I kind of get what you're getting at. It's a bit confusing, but I think I do somewhat get what you're getting at.
The same definition of free will would apply to both God and man, because both God and man are bound by their own nature, right?
All right, okay, wait, hold up. So if God's nature was like this, then doesn't that mean so if this is God's nature and it can't change, this is God's nature and it's impossible to change, right?
Yes.
And do you take the assumption that like God cannot change over many worlds? So like if we take like a different world, God cannot change his nature. God's nature is constant in every world.
Yeah, God's nature remains the same.
Okay. So essentially in any world you take, so in no possible world could this creation have been different.
I'm not really sure about that.
But that follows
Say
from
that
what you're
again.
saying.
I guess,
Repeat it again.
sure. I guess we
Yeah,
could,
so
sure.
God's basically, sorry, wait, this guy's asking me to say again. I'll just say it real quick. So God's nature is eternal. And therefore it can't change over different worlds.
Yeah,
So in any world, God's nature remains constant.
yeah,
Okay, that's fair enough. So if God's nature remains constant in any world, right,
yeah.
it is not possible for any world to have a different nature of God. And if any world doesn't have a different nature of God, right,
Yeah.
then aren't you kind of just saying the world couldn't have been established in any other way, shape, or form?
If it leads to God changing, then
So therefore, the universe itself does not have potency. That's what you're saying.
what do you
So
mean?
that just leads to modal collapse because if wait, hold up, because I might be wrong here, but okay, listen. If you take like in any other world, the universe could not have been the same. Could not sorry, in any world the universe could not have been different because God's nature stays constant over any world, right?
I would say, okay, listen. I would say his will is eternal, but he always eternally wills for a changing universe.
Bro,
Well,
what?
like here's an example, right? Like for example, in an author's name or author's nature as an author does not change whether they write one story or another story. The author remains the same person while the work is different, right? So the universe does have potentiality in the sense that there is different possible states it could have had. The claim is that God has no potentiality refers to God's own being, not to creation. So, like, why would God's like unchanging nature require creation itself to only have like one possible arrangement?
Okay, so I get what you're trying to get at. So like so the result of things being different in the world isn't due to God, but it's more so like probabilistic. Is that what you're trying to say?
Probabilistic? Wait, repeat that again?
So okay, so so you're saying that God's nature is eternal, right? And you're saying God's will is eternal, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not possible for another world. For like, if you had another world, that doesn't make it so that this other world has to be the exact same as ours. Is that what you're saying?
The exact same as ours?
Yeah.
Yeah. The exact same as ours. Yeah. So God's nature is eternal and changing, right? So yeah, eternal will, it doesn't mean that there's only like one possible creation. Yes, it means whatever God wills, oh my goodness, he wills consistently with his nature. Yes.
Yo, I still do not understand the whole nature will thing, bro. Like it's so I think it's so unnecessarily confusing, bro. I mean, Why don't we just take like the normal definition of free will? I think the whole compatibilistic definition of free will is kind of like speculative, and it's kind of just like it's a way to like reconcile flaws with the cosmological theory. I don't think it's like bro,
What,
like it's such
what's
a weird thing
confusing?
to say, bro.
What's confusing about the nature and will?
It's okay. Wait. Explain to me the compatibilistic definition one more time, bro. One more time.
Explain the what?
The compatibilistic definition of free will.
Oh, okay. So it's
It's just the ability for one to act according to their nature.
So, yeah, I get that. So how would humans have free will? Give an example of like how that would apply to humans.
Yeah, so as humans, right, we are sinful by nature because of Adam, and so we would only have the ability to, remain evil, I guess, to only do evil things. I mean, we can do some good things, but we're not ever, good in the sight of God, basically.
So if we have free will, can our nature change? Can our nature change?
Yes.
Our nature can't change.
And I said our nature can change.
Our nature can't change if we have free will.
I said it can change. Our human nature
it can change if we have free will.
Yeah, like if we develop habits, change our character, learn, grow, become different kinds of people, like morally, yeah.
Okay.
So our human nature can change.
But God's nature can't.
Yeah, because his nature is the divine nature. The divine nature is immutable. It's immutable. So
I mean, I suppose my argument was more so like tailored to like a more like my definition of free will. I don't think it really I've never ever heard of this compatible, but I'll probably go and research it because I still don't think it sounds valid, bro. I think it's like I know, bro. I know that sounds rude, bro. But it's just me.
No, it's good.
All right, yeah, well, I might come back up later, and then after I learn some of this stuff, because I'm kind of new to this thing. But yeah.
Okay.
LeBron
appreciate it.
LeBron lover, you're a lark. I'm like, come on now, you're literally larking. Your bio literally says Jesus is God to when you're committing shirk.
Yo, LeBron, say Jesus.
Mashallah. He said mashallah. It's an Arabic word in Islam, bro. Mashallah. He's trying to prove he's Muslim. I don't think that's how you. Yeah, I think it is how you spell it. He's trying to prove. But his bio literally says Jesus is God, and he said he's a Trinitarian Muslim. That's committing shirk. Allah cannot be Trinitarian God. He called me a low tier too. Buddy, you say you're a Trinitarian Muslim. They call me a low tier. Oh my goodness. LARPers in this game are funny. I love them though. I love them. Amen. That was a good conversation I had with that one guy. Y'all, God bless. Have a wonderful day. All right.